All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Yvette LeFlore with Healing with Yvette, and I am here with Karen Stultz. And Karen has a podcast, which I happen to have an opportunity to be a guest on, which I was really excited about. We had a great conversation. And her podcast is called Conversations for Having an Awesome Life. So you'll definitely want to check that out when you're done watching this. We are going to be talking about hypnosis today, but let me just tell you a little bit about Karen. What I really like about this is when Karen summarizes who she is, this is what she says. She's a six-figure money mindset mentor, connecting the energy of magic and money for more focus, fun, and financial freedom and life in business. Like, isn't that amazing? So today, we're going to be talking about hypnosis, because when Karen and I were chatting and getting prepared for the podcast and getting to know one another, hypnosis came up as something that she does. And, in my head, I was thinking about, I've been to those fair acts where they bring 6 to 10 people up on the stage and they make them do funny things, right? And that's one of the things that people think about when they think about hypnosis. Or you think about those commercials you've seen about hypnosis for weight loss or hypnosis to stop smoking. So I thought, why not have Karen come and talk with us a little bit about the myths and the facts of hypnosis. So thank you so much, Karen, for joining us today and having this conversation so that we can debunk the myths and, share what there is to share about hypnosis.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Yvette. This has been wonderful. And yes, she is a magnificent podcast guest. So anybody who is looking for a guest, Yvette is fantabulous on that. And it is awesomelifepodcast.com. So that is terrific. And the conversations, of course, conversations are over on YouTube. So
yes.
Anyway.
Yep. That's right. That's where I saw those. So tell us a little bit. I know hypnosis is just part of what you do. Give us a bigger picture of what you do, and then we'll dive into hypnosis.
Okay, that's great. Well, honestly, hypnosis was the start for me, but basically what I do now is help any online success-driven entrepreneur to be successful by releasing the doubts, the people pleasing, the self-doubts, the questioning themselves, and also blasting through the blocks. Perhaps you don't question yourself, you're doing great, you're just not reaching the success that you want. And I do that with tools that I call heart energy techniques, which include hypnosis, along with any number of other energy techniques that both Yvette and I use. So that is really why we connected and how wonderful it was.
Yeah, I find that we those of us in this energy field, like, can have this tool belt, and we just keep adding tools to our tool belt of different ways to support the people that we work with.
Yeah, and that way, success can come a lot faster, a lot easier when we remove those blocks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's like you think about taking a drive somewhere and you've got all of these detours to get from point A to point B versus just going from point A to point B. I mean, it makes sense to get rid of those detours and those blocks so that you can have a straight focused line to where you're going.
Much straighter path. Absolutely. Yeah. It's opening up that flow, that energy flow, so that, because for years, and the reason I like money is grand. Money is an energy that I enjoy, and I enjoy energy. So that is why I use that as a focus. But the awesome life is to be aware. The A in awesome stands for awareness and allowing. And the M in awesome stands for money. So, it's a whole long life of having awesome and it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Money is a big part of it. And for years, for me, I knew I was blocking money from coming in because it came in and then it flowed back out again.
Right.
And it was like, wait a minute, what happened? And then I'd struggle hard, trying to get it to come back in. And as soon as it came in, I said, oh, this is wonderful. I've got it now. It went right back out again. And I thought, what am I doing? Because we create our own reality.
Mhm.
And it's just the way it is. We create our own reality. So we have to take responsibility for our creation. And sometimes we can create crap, or sometimes we can create fabulous success. So that is where I decided to start searching for what can I do? What can I let go of? Where can I release the blocks that are keeping me from the success that I want?
Mhm.
And what I realized was that when you start releasing other things, you declutter your life, you take care of your body and your mind. That's the W, wellness. The organization is a big thing for me. I have trouble. I'm working on it. I'm working on the organization, which is the O in awesome. And when you become more aware, and when you allow what is going on as a part of life, as opposed to something done to you, and we're such powerful beings, aren't we, Yvette? We're powerful beings who really can change the world. And when that started happening, then, and also I had tunnel vision of money could only come to me via my work. All the
Ah,
other money was not worth it, right?
huh.
Talk about ridiculous. This is not how it works. It cannot work this way. You have to be open to all of it. And it comes in numerous ways, and it's wonderful. So anyway, that's where I became a money flow coach,
Love it. Love
opening
it.
up that energy flow and gathering the tools together. And one of those means was hypnosis. I kept looking for ways to do it faster, more simply, gently, lovingly. And hypnosis looked to be that possibility.
Hmm.
And so I went to college and got my degree in hypnotherapy
Oh,
at
so
the
the real deal. It wasn't like a weekend, read something on the internet. It was,
nope, it was a year-long program, and it was at the first accredited United States accredited college of hypnotherapy.
oh,
So
wow.
it is an accredited college. So I have my degree from there. And while I was there, it opened up any number of other channels of, ooh, look at all this wonderful stuff that I can use to make things a whole lot easier and wonderful and more fun. And by the way, the E in awesome, the final E in awesome stands for enjoyment and fun. And you have to have the A and the E in your life at all times.
Yes. Yes.
So
I
that's where I am.
your energy is contagious for sure. Your energy is contagious. So let's jump into hypnosis a little bit.
Yeah.
And can anyone be hypnotized?
You know what? Everybody can, and everybody is.
Oh,
Everybody is at least twice a day. They are in a state of hypnosis. Yeah. hypnosis is simply a state of being.
Okay.
We have different states of being that are natural, and that's what we have. We have the beta state, as we are in right now, where we're wide awake, we're talking, we know what we're saying, and everything is fine, our conscious state. Then we have the alpha state. The alpha state is when we're a little bit meditative. We know what's going on around us, but have you ever gone from driven home one day and said, "Oh my gosh, how did I get here? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?" Yeah,
Right. Yep.
that's the alpha state. Then you have the theta state. The theta state is when you are sleeping. And then the delta state is when you are deep sleep. That's when, the surgery is going on. So the alpha state is we are naturally in every single day, just before we wake up and just before we go to sleep. Therefore, we are in hypnosis. Hypnosis is the alpha and theta state. So anytime you are in the alpha or theta state, you are in a state of hypnosis.
So there's the answer. Yes, everyone can be hypnotized.
Whether they recognize it or not,
Right,
they are in
right.
a state of hypnosis. It is a natural state of being.
Okay. So everyone naturally enters that state 2 times a day, at least. Depends on, you may nap and enter it more.
This is true. Many people are walking around in a state of hypnosis all the time.
Right. So what about when someone works with a hypnotherapist? How are you intentionally, well, yes, you're intentionally helping someone move to that state of hypnosis, correct? The alpha state.
Well, we're out of the alpha state and into the theta state.
Theta state. Okay.
So basically what hypnosis does is we have 4 minds, actually. We have the conscious mind, when we're reasonable, rational, logical mind. And then we have the primitive mind, which we're born with and brings all of our junk with us, but it's the fight, flight, and freeze mind. We have the critical mind, and we have the subconscious mind. So, and the subconscious mind, by the way, subconscious mind is only here to help you. Have you ever had somebody say, "Oh my gosh, if it wasn't for my subconscious, I'd be a fantastic success. If it just didn't get rid of that subconscious mind." Well, guess what? It only is here to help you, to help you stay safe, to help you along, to help you achieve, to help you do what you want. So if you're sitting there saying, I want success, I want lots of money coming in, that's your conscious mind, right? And the subconscious keeps sabotaging it. It just keeps letting it go out again. As soon as it comes in, it finds a way to get it out again.
Right.
So what hypnosis does is, unlike with meditation, which I don't know, anyway, we won't go into that difference yet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what the hypnosis does is you set a desire. You go to your hypnotherapist. I want to play better golf. I want to be a great basketball player. I want to quit smoking. I just want to feel good. Whatever the reason is.
Okay.
The other thing about the subconscious mind is it only works with pictures and feelings. Unlike the conscious mind that has your thoughts and, my what ifs and everything else,
Okay.
subconscious works with pictures and feelings. So what we do in hypnosis is get things so cluttered up. Oh, and the critical mind in between, which is basically the critical mind takes all of the gradu from both the conscious. Okay, I want to quit smoking. I'm demanding that I quit smoking. I'm a strong person. I can quit smoking. I'm doing that. Goes into the critical mind. Well, guess what? The critical mind is only 10% of the minds. The rest is subconscious.
Okay.
So the subconscious is sitting there saying, okay, you want to lose weight, you want to quit smoking, but the smoking, okay, you can try it out. You can try it out, but I know your history. I know everything about you. And I know how happy you are when you smoke. And I know how unhappy you are when you don't smoke. So I will help you by encouraging you and presenting opportunities for you to smoke.
So that's what your subconscious is doing. It's like,
this is what the subconscious is.
Your best friend.
Yes.
Right. The enabling
I want to keep
friend.
you happy. I want to keep you
enabling
happy.
friend. Yeah.
So what hypnosis does is it clogs up that critical mind. It clogs up the conscious mind so that we have a direct path to the subconscious.
Okay.
And when we can get the subconscious to see and feel what we really want, then magic happens. And the subconscious said, oh, I just knew how wonderful you felt when you smoked and how unhappy you were when you didn't. So, okay, let's figure out another way. I see now you want to stop smoking because you want to be healthy for your grandchildren. You want to stop smoking so that you can breathe and walk and exercise. You want to stop smoking so that you can live life fully. Okay, I get that. All right, let's see how we can make that happen together. And I will support that because I want you to be happy. Let's create a picture of it. Now we have that feeling of how you're going to be. Let's create a picture. Let's look at you're going out for a walk or you're going to a party with your friends where they're all smoking. Only this time, the smoking is starting to make you cough. And you don't feel so good. So rather than staying there, you might instead go out in the cool, fresh air and go for a walk. We can also do something different. So anyway, that is basically what we do. We clutter up the conscious mind. So it's all over the place. The critical mind is so jammed up, it can't make heads or tails of anything, so that the hypnotherapist can go directly to the subconscious mind and make changes.
I love that explanation. And there's so much going through my head that makes sense about that. So thank you for that. So it leads me to a question. So you're working with a hypnotherapist, and the hypnotherapist is working, having the conversation with the subconscious mind, with you and your subconscious. Are those suggestions, if you will, reversible? Like you're done and you're thinking, I really don't want to be a better golfer or whatever, stop smoking or make money or whatever you went to hypnotherapy for. Do you have free will? I guess
Absolutely. 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 The thing about hypnotherapy, it is a tool, just like any other tool that is out there in the marketplace. It is an opportunity for change, but you always have free will. A lot of people say, okay, I went to the show, I went to the hypnosis show, and that guy had that kid running around. He was flopping down on the ground, and then he got up and started clucking like a chicken, and and he's doing all of this stuff, and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to be hypnotized.
Right.
Well, guess what? If he didn't want to do that, he
Right.
couldn't have been hypnotized. You cannot hypnotize somebody to do something that is against their moral values or their desires.
Mm.
So if they, okay, I was hypnotized to rob a bank. Okay.
Right.
Not my fault. I was hypnotized to rob the bank. Somebody did that to me. No,
Right.
you got free will. The only reason that you went in and robbed the bank was because you didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I was thinking about the, running around and clucking like a chicken in those. And I think inherently we all want to have that sense of freedom where we can be silly and free and just like fully expressed. But all of that critical mind that, oh, you shouldn't do that. That doesn't look proper. Like all of that is in the way. And so when it's removed, that freedom is there for that self-expression.
And it, when you think about the stage things as well, the hypnotherapist or the hypnotist, hypnotherapist is qualified for therapy to a point. But a hypnotherapist is not a doctor necessarily or a psychologist. That's something to remember as well. So simply because they say I'm a hypnotherapist, I am not a psychologist or a doctor.
Right.
But a hypnotist, and those are the, weekend long or even 2-week programs. You can be a hypnotist, but you have to do it a lot longer to get that hypnotherapy degree or qualification. Anyway, a hypnotist is going around the room and looking for suggestible people.
Hmm.
And if you are somebody who, you love to have that freedom, you want to get up on stage, you want to have a lot of fun, and this is what it's all about, is creating the fun. And you don't mind being silly up there, you don't mind showing off. They're walking through the audience, they're looking at people, who's nodding, who isn't nodding, who raises their hand up high, who doesn't, and they ask questions that bring some of those hands down, and they just hand pick the ones that are most suggestible.
Right.
So it's not real.
Right. It's staged, so to speak.
It is.
So one of the questions that somebody asked me to ask you is, can hypnosis, or how can hypnosis help with trauma and grief?
Oh, Oh, it's wonderful. The thing about trauma and grief is it's a very individualized situation.
Yes.
And all of our tools, it doesn't change the memory at all. What it changes is the trigger to the memory,
Mm.
so
Mhm.
that the pain, the grief is not as debilitating. So having a hypnotherapist go into your subconscious, your best friend died, or your love of your life left. What we would do as a hypnotherapist is find out as much as we could about the situation, find out what the grief and the feelings are,
Mm.
and what they would like them to be instead,
Mhm. Okay.
so that under the state of hypnosis, we can go in, clutter up the critical mind, and go directly to the subconscious and say, all right, this is what he or she wants instead. Help us out. And from here on out, here are the suggestions. When you think about this person, we're going to think about how much joy they brought to me, they brought to the world. And the pain is been turned into joy, as opposed to a crying and sobbing and loss. It's allowed a freedom and that you wouldn't have had you not known that person. So they
Yeah.
were wonderful. And you keep that. Does that answer the question, do you think?
It does. And what I'm hearing is it softens the rawness of it.
Oh, perfectly said. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to forget it.
Right. Right.
And if you need to work through it
Yes.
and allow it. But there is a fine line between rushing through it
Yep.
and having it go on too long.
Yeah. So if you find that it's getting in the way of your life, because that the too long piece, I think that goes back to the conversation that we have in our society. We don't do grief in our society. We just don't. Right. It's just we don't allow for it. We don't have space for it. We don't have rituals around grief like they do in other cultures. We have okay, it's time to move on, get over it, right? So the too long piece, I want to point to that and say it's not about the length of time. It's, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's that it's essentially not allowing you to move forward at any pace because it's keeping you stuck.
And you're right. In this culture, we don't have rituals, so to speak. Well, we do. We have celebrations of life and things like that. But anytime there's loss, there's grief. And it doesn't have to be a death.
Yep.
And we have stigmas. And if we don't address what is going on, if we don't address the pain that we're feeling, what happens is it starts attacking our body and strange things start showing up. One of
Yep.
my students last night actually said, my kidneys are killing me. It's like I have a UTI and I don't. And I know it's because of this grief, this pain.
Yep.
And so we addressed it.
Good. Yeah, our
And by the
bodies.
end of the night, there was no pain in our kidneys. It was amazing.
Yeah, our bodies are amazing. They give us a lot of messages. You can hear my stuffiness. I know what this is about, and it's about some emotional stuff that needs to be released, right? It's all stuffed right now. Um, any other last things that you want to share about hypnosis before we end? Any other myths that you want to debunk?
Oh my goodness. Hypnosis. I love hypnosis. It is simply a tool. We always have free will, always. So if it is something that you don't want to go into, you're not going to. However, it is a natural state of being. So kind of celebrate it. Oh, and by the way, there is a difference between hypnosis and meditation. Hypnosis being we go in and we clutter up the mind. We get it, look at it all over the place, so we can go directly to the subconscious. Get the conscious out there, the what ifs, whatever. And meditation is where you clear the mind entirely.
Then that makes sense. Yeah.
So that is basically the difference. So you will
difference.
go into the alpha and theta state in meditation, just like in hypnosis.
I appreciate all of the nuances that you shared with us today. And I really think one of my main takeaways that I loved is that we enter that hypnotic state 2 times a day anyway. So there's nothing to fear around working with a hypnotherapist. So you want someone who is trained, I would say, right? Like just like anything. Not your back garden variety, but there's nothing to fear around it. And there's so much to gain by adding this tool to the tool belt of the healing work that you allow yourself to receive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do use it in the heart energy techniques. And I just as another interesting thing about hypnosis, have you ever heard of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming? That actually stems from hypnosis. So there is nothing new in the world. We just give different names to it. And that's why I have the heart energy techniques, which is all of it.
We do. We just kind of like put a little different bow on it, or another word
all,
to it, or
it's there. It's there. So
Karen, so how can people reach you and find out more about you?
oh, thank you so much for this has been so much fun. I could talk for hours with you, Yvette, and we have. But in any case, yes, you can reach me at awesomelifepodcast.com. You can reach me on Facebook at Karen Johnson Stultz. And you can reach me on LinkedIn, which is my favorite place of being at Karen J. Stultz. And I would love to hear from you, or just drop me a line. I don't know, is my phone number showing up there on the screen or no?
It's not. Neither one of our
okay.
Oh, there it is. Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There we go. I just had to move my.
So anyway, if you can see the phone number on the screen,
I'll just read it out. It's 207-200-4335.
And I love to hear from people. And if I don't answer, which I usually am busy with people, so leave a message. I'll get back to you.
And thank you. And if you happen to be watching this and you're in Karen's Facebook page watching, you can reach me at Healing with Yvette on my website, Healing with Yvette on Facebook, Healing with Yvette on Instagram, and Healing with Yvette on YouTube. LinkedIn, I need to add. I have not done that yet.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all fine. It's just, what do you want to do with your business? And I think that's where I feel a light. I'm talking about energy. That's where I
Right.
feel my lightness and confidence come out a lot faster than some of the others. But anyway,
Karen, thank you so much. I
thanks
so
so much for
appreciate you.
having me, Yvette. Healing with Yvette. Yes, she does heal, doesn't she? She's amazing. I love her. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, let's debunk some of those hypnosis myths.
Yes. Thank you.